So we're getting goats. A friend said, hey, I know someone who's looking to rehome 3 goats, and I thought of you immediately. Do you want them? And I was like, I said, how much? And she said, free. They just need a good home. And I was like, okay, yes. And then, well, the reality of winter set in. So we had a couple of good days without snow, and we're able to build most of what will be the goat house. So I've been trying to find a window where the temperature is warm enough to get the ground stakes of an electric fence, at least in the ground, for the most part. So this week we've had some weather that has been above 20 degrees and a couple of days where it's been like 38. So even though it's snowing right now, this is one of the warmer days. And yesterday was the warmest day. But I ran out of time for putting the fence in because I was focused on building the house for the goats. So today I am going to install an electric fence from Premier One. It's designed for goats, but it'll be similar to what I have for my poultry. My flock is right over there. And back here, behind the solar panels, there's this brushy area. That's why we put the goat pen back here, because I'm hoping that they'll clear that brushy area and then we'll make it more usable, while also fertilizing it with their excrement. So I'm going to get on with it. Let's see how it goes and whether or not it's actually possible to install one of these fences in the middle of winter. It is February 8th, 10th, I don't remember, but it's about a week and a half into February. And this week's forecast is all low 20s. So now's my time, even though it's snowing. Here we go. These things are not light. Oh dear. I had to take my gloves off to carry it because fingers give a lot more friction to hold something. When I have my gloves on, the box kept sliding out of my hands. So I took them off and put them in my pocket, and then walking down like this, they fell out. Now I have them. Instructions or something. So I ordered 2 100-foot rolls of fencing, and this here is the grounding rod. That's going to be the real challenge today. Can I get the grounding rod into the ground to keep this thing running effectively? And can I get the ground spikes? Well, you can't see them yet because they're in this tube. But can I get those through the snow that is here and into the ground enough to support it for now? Another reason I chose to do this today is because while, yes, we already have a couple inches of snow from last week that's still here, we're supposed to get another 8 inches overnight tonight. It's only just begun. But that's a lot of snow that I won't be able to get through to install the fence. So here's hoping this works out today. These are the corner posts that add extra stability and won't short out the fence because they're made specifically for this. And wire to run the power source from the house out here. Hopefully it's enough. I might need to actually order more wire. Okay, I'm gonna set up under the solar panels to keep everything out of the snow for now. We'll see how it goes. Okay, in case I forgot to say, this is New England, mid-February. I'm located in Massachusetts and trying to install an electric fence from Premier One now, in this weather. So my primary goal today is to get the spikes into the ground before we have a really cold, colder than this, cold spell. So, all of the things for energizing the fence, except for that ground spike for grounding the fence, everything else can wait. So, Hot Shock 5, this is the model of the Energizer. The actual fence is what I need to worry about first, so here we go. And unpackage it and then get setting it up. Oh, also noteworthy that first I walked around and stomped down the snow that's already there to make it less to get through and less high up to put the fence in. This is the fence model. Premier One has, not a sponsor, has so many options in fencing for livestock. It took me probably 3 hours of reading and researching before I decided on this fence for goats. The tube has the instructions. And the caution sign, very important. And then good old how to install. As well as repair parts, which come in really handy. The kit like this that I use for my my pen of chickens, ducks, and geese, I've already broken into it several times. It's handy. Thank you, Premier One. To unhook these two, I forgot what they're called, but the end parts. Sort of tangled up if you don't. And then you want to keep all of the poles with the spikes in a bundle and then carry it that way. It makes it easier to lay it out where you're going to put it on the fence line. So this is how you want to carry it when going to place it. Sort of stretch it out one at a time. Get the spikes in one at a time. Here's hoping. Fingers crossed for me. Okay, fence one. So I bent one of the corner spikes and sort of also bent one of the double spikes on this post. I'm trying to make it so that this is the end and it'll come back toward the goat pen from here. However, I'm not sure it's possible. I'm gonna try. I brought some reinforcements because I think I might have been hitting a rock, so definitely felt much more solid than frozen ground, but let's find out. And if not, I can always use the corner posts to create corners in the middle of one of the runs between the fence posts that come attached to the fence. Either way. As I suspected, I remember putting that there actually. It's sand and rocks that are just frozen solid, and it will take a lot of bashing. I'd have to totally like pre-dig. So I'm gonna back up a little bit and accommodate the situation. Go with the flow. We've all learned that skill from the pandemic. Go with the flow, roll with it. Well, the results are in. It is possible to install an electric netting fence in the winter when the ground is kind of frozen. There was a casualty, one of the corner posts. It bent. It was like this, and then when I tried to hammer it straight again, it just... So, obviously, nah. And that's about an $8 or $9 mistake, I believe. So not horrible, and I'm sure there's another way I can use it. Like, I'll use this for something, but not for stabilizing a corner. And then, I think it is important to mention that I used a mallet, like a heavy-duty mallet, to hammer in some of the pegs that were going into harder soil areas. Like, if it was sandy soil, it was really frozen. If it's a spot that had, like, good topsoil, they went in quite easily. So I guess that's a difference one to the other. In the video, you can see if I'm stomping it in with just my foot, good soil. If I have to use a mallet, not good soil, very frozen, sandy soil. Worth mentioning, this fence does not have drivable posts, meaning you're not supposed to hammer them in. Premier One does sell drivable posts, but I choose the kind that has 2 spikes at the bottom of each post because it gives me something to step on. And I started very gently with the mallet, just trying it out. Will this work? Will it break them? It didn't break them. To be honest, I was impressed how it didn't do anything to them. So at the bottom where it's like a spike, there's 2 spikes, and there's a little post at the top, so they're kind of this shape. And I was hitting in the middle of that to get them to go into the ground, and it worked smashingly. Although they are not sold for that purpose, it did work. However, I'm sure if I broke one, it's not like they'd be replacing it for me because it's a user error. And a couple of them did bend at the bottom, but I was able to still get them in intact and not break anything. So, goat pen. Yes. And next there'll be goats. You have to finish the enclosure, get some food and some hay, as well as feed bins, and then go pick up some goats. Stay tuned. The adventure continues. I did not yet run the electric cable to the house to plug it in and to electrify this lovely fence. That'll be a separate video because I did not feel like that was dependent on the weather, so I can do that tomorrow or the next day or whenever. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helps somebody out there.